Hello, Sassy Nari. Thank you for joining me today. So you know that I love doing this podcast. पर फैक्ट ये है कि जब लोगों को इसके बारे में बताने की बात आती है ना, देन आई रियली टॉक अबाउट इट. मुझे लगता है कि लोग सोचेंगे कि शी इज ऑलवेज टॉकिंग अबाउट हर स्टफ. हमेशा अपनी चीज़ों को प्रमोट करती रहती है, सेल्सी फील होता है और सेल्सी साउंड करना थोड़ा अजीब लगता है, राइट? पर सच ये है कि अगर हम ही अपने प्रोडक्ट्स एंड सर्विसेज के बारे में बात नहीं करेंगे तो कौन करेगा और कैसे सबको उसके बारे में पता चलेगा? जिन्हें उस चीज़ की ज़रूरत है उन तक हमारा मैसेज नहीं पहुंचेगा और भाई हम अर्न कैसे करेंगे? तो हम सबके फियर ऑफ सेलिंग को निकालने और सेलिंग को सिंप्लीफाई करने के लिए मैंने आज के एपिसोड में बात की है बिजनेस मेंटोर इशिता खट्टर से. Ishita is a corporate lawyer turned business mentor and coach. She also has her own podcast, Dream Life Collective. Ishita started her coaching business in 2022 as a productivity coach and then transitioned to business coaching. Now she helps coaches grow their businesses to their first 6 figures with strategy and intentionality. She's also a hands-on mom to a 5-year-old boy. So in short, she's the perfect person to learn from. Before jumping into the episode, please consider sharing it with someone जिसकी इससे कुछ हेल्प हो सकती है. आपकी शेयरिंग से ना लिटिल फिक्सेस की भी बहुत हेल्प होती है, सो थैंक यू. Hey Sassy Nari, welcome to Little Fixes. This is your host Matri, a social media professional, a mother, and a simple yet sassy woman just like you. Join me for 3 simple and practical ideas that help you in transforming into your best self. This mental health and personal growth podcast is a reminder that you matter. And now to our guest. Hi Ishita, welcome to Little Fixes.
Hi, Maitri. I'm so glad to be here today.
So am I, because this is one of the topics which a lot of women struggle with. I'm sure men also do, but because I interact with a lot of women, though I know about them more.
No, even I've come across a lot of women. I don't really coach men as such. I've had a few clients who've been men, but mostly my target audience is women. And I've also come across a lot of women who face this issue. So glad to be talking about it today on the podcast.
Yes. तो सबसे पहले फिर हमें यही बताइए इशिता कि what is the biggest misconception about selling which women have?
So, what I've seen in the recent past is that a lot of people get into the online space thinking that, making money online is really easy, it's really simple. And one of the things that they think about is that, all we need to do is, post a little bit of content here and then we'll, start making $5,000 months, $10,000 months, or,
Hmm.
whatever the thing going around in the market is. And what happens as a result is that most people start posting content without really having like a sales strategy behind. Like, there is a difference between just randomly posting content and posting content with intention. So that's one of the biggest misconception I have seen about, selling or in the online space, that, all we need to do is just post content, that
Hmm.
also without having any, thought behind it, and we are going to start making a lot of money. What happens as a result of, this is that people keep posting content which is without really a sales strategy, or it's not backed by sales psychology. And when people don't see the results, when people, have been posting for like a month or 2 months or 6 months, and they don't see clients coming in or DMs which are filled with inquiries about their offers, they start getting, very demotivated, and they start like questioning a lot about, oh, whether we did the right thing, whether we are made for it or not, etc.
See, I have seen your Instagram page, and you clearly say कि just posting content will not get you any clients. But a lot of viral reels on Instagram, they show post content, they will come. इस तरीके की जो reels viral जाती हैं, I think वो वही होती हैं और हम वही देखते हैं. हमें लगता है अच्छा इनको $100,000 मिल रहे हैं तो हमें भी मिल सकते हैं, हम भी चलो पोस्ट करना शुरू कर देते हैं. बट यू आर सेइंग कि एक इंटेंशन होना चाहिए.
Absolutely. And I've also seen a lot of those reels, and I've also started, like, sometimes, your mind goes here and there, and, like,
Mm-hmm.
everybody makes it sound so easy.
Yeah.
But people have to understand that at the end of the day, this is a business. Like, you're starting a business, and like any other business that you would start, like, for example, if you would have started a physical business,
Mm.
there would be some sort of hard work or some sort of intentionality behind it, right, behind whatever you do. So why don't we apply the same thing to our online business? Just because it's an online business, just because it's required maybe lesser amount of investment as opposed to a physical business, why do we think that we need to put lesser amount of hard work or put lesser amount of thought behind whatever we do to it? It needs the
Mm.
same amount of thought, it needs the same amount of hard work, it needs the same amount of hours that you need to be spending. I know this messaging has been going around in the industry that work for 2 hours a day and make lots of
Mm.
money. And you know what that does to people's mind is that it gives them false hopes.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's not as easy as just working 2 hours a day. Like, if you have clients, if you have calls, if you create programs yourself, if you have to create your own content, it will require more than 2 hours a day. So I really don't go by this messaging. And I always tell all of my clients that whatever you hear on the internet, take it with a pinch of salt, because people are not really sharing what really goes on behind. But
Mm.
nowadays, like, just maybe the few past few months, I've started noticing this trend that people are actually talking about what really goes on behind building an online business. So it's
Mm.
not just post content, it is way more than that.
Yes,
Sadly,
yes.
but yeah, it's true.
So I'm sure you know a lot about putting thought into your work and also about figuring out processes given your background as a corporate lawyer. So I'm also curious, why did you make the switch from being a corporate lawyer to being a business mentor and coach?
So, my journey from being a corporate lawyer to a business mentor wasn't as straightforward as it sounds.
Hmm.
Um, I have worked in the corporate law field for a couple of years, but I don't know if you know about it. Corporate law is really, like, hard on your health, and that's what happened to me. I used to work like 14 to 16 hours each day. So I would leave home at like 9 in the morning, come back home at like 12 in the night.
Mhm.
I wouldn't meet my husband like for days maybe,
Oh.
and I would work on the weekends. So it was quite horrible, and as a result, I developed some back issues. Like, my there was this one particular incident where my entire left arm like completely froze while sitting in office on a Sunday afternoon. And that's when I decided that it's really not worth it. I of course had like rounds of MRIs, doctor visits, and a lot of those things. And everybody advised that you need to change your lifestyle. Not to scare any budding lawyers here, but I wasn't very. I wasn't able to manage my time, because that's how usually corporate law firms in India work. So I left my law firm job without having any plan B. I was a very highly paid corporate lawyer, because I had been working for a couple of years, but I just quit because it was just not worth it. The money was not worth risking my health over a lot of those things. And when I left, I had absolutely no idea what I'm going to do next. I started at that point in time, I was a lot into skincare and lifestyle, so I started a YouTube channel, and I was posting content up until the time I got pregnant with my son. And that's when I had a very rough first trimester. So I decided I'm going to take a break. And then that break was a very long, it ended up being a very, very long break, and I didn't really start posting again. But after I became a mother, my sort of choices changed a little bit. I started documenting my journey as a mother on my podcast. I had just started my podcast, and I started talking about productivity and time management and everything, like I do as a mother. And one thing led to another. From there, people started asking me a lot of questions about, oh, how do you do this, how do you manage your time, how do you, like, achieve all your goals, how do you do this? And that's how I got into productivity coaching. But
Mm.
after being a productivity coach for a few months, I would say, I knew, I think business coaching was my true calling, and that's when I transitioned into business coaching. So, to answer your question, my journey wasn't really, as straightforward. I had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of, changes. Not a lot, maybe just a few, but yeah, I'm glad to be where I am today. And I just love what I do. I love helping people. I love being a coach. I love being on coaching calls with my clients and, helping them, put their efforts and, see their efforts transition into paying clients for them. So it's a very, very rewarding journey, I would say.
और आपका कॉर्पोरेट एक्सपीरियंस या फिर आपका जो लॉयर वाला बैकग्राउंड है वो आपकी कहीं हेल्प करता है इन सब चीज़ों में?
To be very honest, not so much, because law was completely different. And what I used to do was, I was in the projects financing sort of stream in corporate law. So that really hasn't helped me anywhere in being, a coach or a mentor. But yeah, I would always cherish that experience. And um, I would say maybe, like, yeah, let's see if it comes in use in the future, but not so far.
ओके, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग बिकॉज आई एम हियरिंग दिस स्टेटमेंट फॉर द वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम बिकॉज जब भी मैंने किसी से भी पूछा है कि आपके एक्सपीरियंस ने आपकी बिजनेस में हेल्प की तो ज़्यादातर सबने बताया है कि हाँ, हाउ डिड इट कनेक्ट, बट यू आर सेइंग कि इट इज नॉट ऑफ एनी यूज एज
It's
सच
not, because both of them
डायरेक्ट.
are very different fields.
हम्म.
And to be honest, now when I tell somebody what I'm doing, they're
हम्म.
like, oh my God, that's such a massive jump from being a
या.
corporate lawyer. And truly, it is a very different thing. I've never studied business. I've never actually had any formal education in business. But I did have formal education in law and, all of those things. So, I mean, that's not really helped
मे
me.
बी द डिसिप्लिन कम्स
Personally, it's
फ्रॉम
not
देयर.
helped. Huh?
आई एम सेइंग मे बी द डिसिप्लिन कम्स फ्रॉम देयर.
Probably. Not sure about that.
ओके, बट इफ समवन इज लिसनिंग ना तो उन्हें लगेगा कि कॉर्पोरेट से डायरेक्ट आप आ गए बिजनेस मेंटोर बन गए इवन दो यू हैड नो business education, no education in this field, but I'm sure you did something, you learned a lot, you did a lot of upskilling. तो हमें अपने उस जर्नी के बारे में भी थोड़ा सा बताइएगा. एंड most importantly I'd like to know कि when you started out as a business mentor or maybe even as a productivity coach, because it was a completely different thing, what was your biggest fear?
My, I'll answer your first question before, and that was that, when I started. When I got into the coaching industry, I literally had no knowledge. I was one of those people who had that misconception that, all you need to do is post content and you're going to make money. So that's how I started. I started posting content, but sadly, it didn't really result in any clients. And that's when I realized that I do need to upskill myself. I do need to learn how to sell. Yes, I was good at posting content, my content was okay, but I had to do a lot of refining of my content as well, because you can't just simply post content. Your content needs to have like a structure. Your captions should be written in a certain way. They should convey a certain sort of meaning to people reading your posts, right? And
Mhm.
you should have some sort of a messaging. So because I was from a corporate law background, I didn't know anything about, um, how to create sales content, and I had to do a lot of upskilling. I till date I've invested a lot in coaches, mentors, programs, courses, everything. And I feel that despite not having any formal education in business, these programs have really helped me to be where I am today. And one of the most important, the turning points in my business was to enroll for a sales course. And before, I enrolled for the sales program, I didn't know anything about selling. I didn't know, what truly makes people buy. What is it that you need to say to somebody to, convince them to buy. Like, despite, being a corporate lawyer, people think that, oh, you know how to convince people, but I didn't know
Mhm.
that. I was a corporate lawyer, I was not a litigating lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
but I was not very good at that. And I'm very open and honest about the fact that I didn't know how to sell at all, and I had to learn all of this. I had to invest money in, learning, upskilling myself. Until date, I'm constantly upskilling myself, constantly learning new things. So I mean, um, I would just say that anybody who's not had a formal education in business and wants to start an online business, let this not be something that really stops you. You can always keep learning, because life, I think, is all about learning.
यस यस और अब हमें बताइए कि व्हाट वाज योर बिगेस्ट फियर व्हेन यू स्टार्टेड आउट.
Oh my God. My honestly, this might sound really weird to a lot of people, but my biggest fear when I started as a coach was that I wasn't able to share my voice openly. Because at that point in time, I had people following me who were relatives, who were family, who were and somehow that thought was always in my mind that, oh, what are they going to say? What are they going to think about me
Yeah.
when I am truly sharing my opinion, truly sharing what I feel, or just simply being vulnerable. So that was like my biggest fear. And what I did was, and this is something I tell to all of my clients, that if that is something that's stopping you, if you are not able to share your true voice, if you're not able to be vulnerable in front of your audience, if you're not able to share your personal stories, just because you think somebody from your family or your relatives are watching you and they're thinking something about you, then start a new account. And that's what I did, and that was literally the best thing I could have done for myself and for my business. Because when I created a new Instagram account, a new Facebook account, I started sharing a lot of my original thoughts, whatever I wanted to say. And I remember very clearly there was this post I did. I was very hesitant to do that. I had I mean, the thought of this post was there in my mind for a very long time. But again, I didn't share it before, because I was like, what are people going to think? But when I started my new account, I posted this, and literally till date, I've got so many clients from that one single post. And that post was me sharing my story about how my husband wanted me to, not start my coaching business, and he wanted me to go back to my law firm job. So it was a very vulnerable personal story that I shared with everybody. And I couldn't share that like earlier. So that was like my biggest fear, honestly, when I was starting out, that, what are people going to think about me? People, I mean, like my friends and relatives and family.
यस आई थिंक वो फियर हम सब में ही होता है. हमें स्ट्रेंजर्स का इतना नहीं डर लगता है अनलेस वी ऑब्वियसली हैव अ ह्यूज कम्युनिटी. लेकिन जो हमारी फैमिली होती है हमें लगता है अच्छा दे विल जज अस, दे विल थिंक कि क्या डालने लगी अचानक. तो
Absolutely.
आई कैन टोटली रिलेट विद दैट. एंड
But
देन
now I don't have
यस.
this fear.
हाँ.
That fear was there when I started, because,
या.
of course, I was very new to the industry. I didn't know so much. But over the years now, I think, and now I don't care whoever sees me, watches me, thinks whatever. I have family following me. Now it doesn't really matter to me. But when I started, it was a big fear in my mind.
ओके, मान लीजिए हमारी फैमिली ने हमारा नया अकाउंट देख लिया एंड नाउ दे हैव क्वेश्चंस कि अच्छा तुम्हारे हस्बैंड ने तुम्हें ऐसा बोला था, या फिर अच्छा तुम ये काम करने लगी, तुम तो लॉयर थी, तुम कोच बन गई, कोचेस क्या करते हैं. तो इस तरीके के जजमेंट्स या ओपिनियंस तो हमें सुनने को मिल जाते हैं, मुझे भी सुनने को मिलते हैं, तो आई नो. तो हाउ डू यू रिस्पॉन्ड टू देम?
Earlier, when any relative would stumble upon my account, I would simply block them. I mean, it was very rude, I know, but that was for me to be able to freely share what I want to share. Now it really doesn't matter. Now, as I've grown in this industry, as I've, grown as a coach, as a person, I'm a lot more confident about what I'm doing. Um, of course, earlier when I started, I wasn't even earning any money. And that was one of the biggest things, that people are going to say that, oh, you're so silly to be leaving your corporate job and to be doing this. And I didn't have anything to tell them that, no, that's not true. Now, because of course my business is doing well, I have a lot of clients now. I of course can tell them that, look, uh, my decision was really good and it's making me a lot of money. So it doesn't really matter what you think, as long as I'm happy, I'm at home with my son, I can make my own timings, I have everything that I want. So I now feel that honestly, like, people telling me, I give them back a little bit, not in a very rude way, but I tell them that sort of that, I have everything I want. You have a job to go to. So you should consider, like, making the switch now. So,
Okay. So, do you think one life is better than other? आपका चलिए जो वर्क था वो बहुत ज़्यादा डिमांडिंग था, बट डू यू थिंक कि हर कोई बिजनेस कर सकता है?
um, so I had a couple of weeks back, I shared this email with my email list, and I
Hmm.
was talking about that how, I when I was a kid, I thought I could never be an entrepreneur, because I don't know if you know that there's a saying that, entrepreneurs are born and not made.
Mhm.
So I had heard about this saying, but that, when I was a little kid, I think about 7, 8, 9 years old, I don't remember. I had this business idea which failed horribly. Of
Mhm.
course, I was a kid, knew nothing about it, and that's when I started really thinking about this. I mean, not then, but later in life, I started really, acknowledging this saying that entrepreneurs are born and not made. But it's only when, I started this business and I started putting in a lot of effort, I saw that, anybody can be an entrepreneur. It's not necessarily that entrepreneurs are born, because I wasn't born as an entrepreneur, and honestly, I never even wanted to be an entrepreneur. I had a very, set mindset that everybody else has, that, go to a good college, get a good job, get married, have kids, that, that's sort of like a path, and that's what I wanted. But somehow, because of the health issues, because my job being too taxing, I had to leave it, and it left me with no option. Like, of course, I had an option to, maybe join another firm which has lesser work hours, but that's not something I wanted to do. I wanted to dip my toes into entrepreneurship, and I realized that I think anybody can do it. All it requires is a skill that you can master, you can learn. It's not something that you're born with. You can always learn that skill, and you need to believe in yourself. That's about
Mhm.
it.
Okay, so anyone can be an entrepreneur if they want to.
Yes, that's what I feel.
सो नाउ आई एम वेरी क्यूरियस कि आपका 8 ईयर ओल्ड का क्या बिजनेस आइडिया था, एंड आई एम ऑल्सो थिंकिंग यू हैड एन एंटरप्रेन्योरियल स्ट्रीक, बिकॉज 8 ईयर ओल्ड को कोई बिजनेस आइडिया आना भी एक बात ही है.
So I shared this business idea with my email list, and that was that, I used to love reading books as a kid. I had a lot of books. I mean, my I had like a huge library, like a full wall full of books. And during my summer holidays, I got this idea of starting a library. Where I was like,
Mhm.
I already have the books. Let me just start a library. I'll have people over. I'll make a little bit of money. A silly thing. Like, I'm sure a lot of youngsters, a lot of kids have that idea of opening a lemonade stand. So similarly, I had that idea of like opening a library, which failed miserably because I knew nothing about sales, of course. And I didn't even have the knowledge that, uh, all I did was I had an idea and I started it. It was messy action, but I didn't really think about, oh, where am I going to get the customers from? Oh, I just have, books of a particular kind. I don't have any other sort of books. So what about other customers? I didn't know, how to market myself. Like, I literally had no idea. Uh, so yeah.
Mhm. Okay, now we have come a long way.
Yes, absolutely.
So, आपने अपना बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया, you became a business coach, and now you sell your products, you sell your services, and you teach women how to scale their businesses. बट जब बिजनेस को स्टार्ट करने की बात आती है, बिजनेस को मार्केट करने की बात आती है, तो हम में से ज़्यादातर का एक मेंटल ब्लॉक होता है कि हम ओपनली सेल नहीं कर पाते हैं. वी कांट इवन टेल पीपल कि वी हैव स्विच टू दिस एंड नाउ वी आर डूइंग दिस. मतलब अगर कोई पूछता भी है तो वी आर लाइक हाँ आई एम डूइंग समथिंग, या मतलब वी आर वेरी वेग. तो जब जिसको हम जानते हैं उसके सामने सेल नहीं कर पा रहे हैं या सोशल मीडिया पे सेल नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, तो ये जो फियर है, ये जो मेंटल ब्लॉक है, इससे हम कैसे आगे बढ़ सकते हैं?
Um, Whatever you said, I totally agree with it. You know, when we start a business, we all have that fear, and so did I. That for the longest time, anybody who would ask me after I quit my law firm job, that what is it that you do, I would say that, my answer always used to be, I'm doing something on the internet. I didn't tell them anything further because I don't know, somehow I wasn't very confident in what I'm doing. Or, of course, earlier on, I had not made any money. I had no, like, sort of, anything to back it up. But one thing that really helped me change this mindset was to start thinking that whatever I'm doing it to help others. Of course, I'm there to make money as well, no denying the fact. But I started believing and I started embodying this saying that selling is serving. And that's when I started making those subtle changes, which led me to openly talk about what is it that I'm helping people with. What is it that I can, how can my service help my clients, and how can my service help change their lives or change their business. When I started looking it at from that angle, things started changing for me. I started thinking of selling and talking about and promoting my services, not as simply selling, but as an invitation for people to come into my world, and to just to be able to help them out in whatever way that I can.
हम्म। ओके, तो यू आर सेइंग कि यू सॉ द बिगर पिक्चर कि हाँ आप लोगों की हेल्प कर पा रही हैं एंड यू स्टार्टेड डूइंग दैट। लेकिन स्टिल बहुत सारे लोग हैं जिनका शायद उनको या तो इतनी क्लैरिटी नहीं है कि व्हाट व्हाई दे आर डूइंग व्हाट दे आर डूइंग, और फियर का एक रीज़न ये होता है बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव एज मच कन्विक्शन इन आवर सेल्व्स या द वे वी हैव बीन ब्रॉट अप। बहुत सारी चीज़ें हो सकती हैं। तो अगर हम मान लीजिए आपके पास कोई आता है कि इशिता आई एम रियली स्कैर्ड ऑफ पुटिंग आउट माय ऑफर, तो आप उनको क्या बोलोगे कि आप क्या करो कि आप फियरलेसली सेल कर पाओ?
So, I've had clients who have been fearful of selling because when I look at their accounts, all that they've been doing is simply post content talking about, posting sort of educational content. For example, maybe if it's like a fitness coach, they'll probably talk about general fitness and how you can have like a healthy lifestyle and things like that. But they don't add a call to action, or they're not inviting people that, come to me, I can help you lead a healthy lifestyle using my whatever offer of this program. So what I tell them is that, okay, start posting content. But when you start, when you feel confident in posting content, you need to start talking about your offer. One thing I tell people is that there is no right time to start selling, because a lot of new people wait for the right time to start selling. They feel that, oh, we'll build up a community, we'll build up our account, we'll keep posting content, but we'll sell when we feel it's the right time. And to them, I always say that there will never be a right time. You need to start selling. So I tell them, okay, just get a little comfortable, but don't waste too much time getting comfortable, and just talk about your offers. Talk about how you can help your ideal client. What is it that you can help them do? And that's when we structure an offer for them. What a lot of people miss out on is they don't know how to structure an offer. What they feel is that, okay, our offer is, 5 calls, 10 modules, 3 templates, 5 bonuses. That's all that the offer is. Offer goes much deeper than the features that you are giving to your clients. You need to, talk about the transformation that you can get for your ideal clients. And I honestly feel that when you start talking about the transformation, when you talk about how you can help others, that's when you start feeling a little bit more confident in yourself. I don't know how that is related, but in my mind it is. And that's what I tell everybody, that, just start posting. Let's start creating your offer, start posting content, create your offer, and start talking about how your offer can help people. And that truly is like, it's a service that you're doing for your audience. So start thinking about it from that aspect. It takes time for beginners, especially, But I would say that there will never be a right time to sell. So start as soon as possible. And it is a legitimate fear that a lot of people have, but you need to get over that fear.
Okay. And how do we build trust when we are just starting out, और maybe हमारा कोई बहुत बड़ा portfolio भी नहीं है, तो लोग क्यों आएंगे हमारे पास? How do we build trust? How do we show कि हाँ we can help them?
So, trust is built by a number of different ways. And when you're absolutely new, of course, nobody really knows you, nobody really trusts you. And you need to build that over time. What I like to do is, and what I like to tell my clients is that showcase a little bit of your personal life as well. Because, when people see or get a sneak peek into the way you live your life or the way you are or what your values and beliefs are, they start building that connection with you on another level. This goes beyond sort of business, this goes beyond selling, but that connection that we build with each other by just getting to know a little bit more about you or me, somebody, that builds that sort of trust. But along with that, what I feel is that you need to start posting stories. As a beginner, I know you don't have a lot of social proof, you don't have testimonials, because you've probably not I mean, they've probably not worked with clients before. But the way you can build up that trust is by talking about how you've changed your life, because you are your biggest testimonial at this point in time before you've actually worked with clients. So share your story, share how you've gone from A to B, share your transformations, your transitions, and yeah, share a little bit of your personal life, because that's going to build connection as well. And talking about your story, talking about how you can help people, will sort of help you build that trust. One big thing that I tell a lot of people is, the biggest thing that can help people build trust is either come up with a free offer or a low cost offer. Free offers like master classes, or maybe just do lives or something like that, where you're showing your authority, where you're talking about how you can really help your ideal client. Or maybe do an in-depth masterclass, because when people see you in action, when people get like a taste of you, they build that trust very very quickly. So if, for example, if I'm talking about selling, and if I host a masterclass, I have like 50 people in, people will start trust those 50 people will trust me a little bit more than the rest of my audience, because they've seen me deliver a masterclass, they've seen me in action, seeing my teaching methods, the way I teach clients, etc. So that's one thing, that's another thing that will help beginners build their trust, or just come up with a low cost offer, because I feel that also helps build a lot of trust and authority.
Mhm. Okay. And how do you market your services? Only on Instagram, or do you have other channels?
So I am on Instagram and on Facebook. My Instagram used to be my main social media, my platform basically. But somewhere I think last year, maybe the year before that, I got onto Facebook as well. So these are my two main channels where I market my services and I get my clients.
And you also mentioned an email list. Do you think it is better than, I mean, not better, but maybe better converting than your Instagram page?
Honestly, people say that your email list is highly converting. For
Hmm.
me, I've not really seen as much conversion, but I've definitely seen, people building that connection with me, because
Hmm.
I post longer form content there. I, share, of course, I share about my offers that I'm selling, but I also talk about, like, maybe stories and some maybe educational stuff. And it goes much deeper than simply an Instagram carousel or a 7-second reel. So yeah, as far as conversion goes, I'm not really seen anything as such. Maybe it has, but definitely it has helped me build connection with people.
Okay, very interesting. Now this is also giving a very different perspective. So thank you for sharing that. And now, Ishita, tell us your top tips for women who are just starting their businesses.
Okay, so for somebody who is just starting their business, I would first tell them that if you've not decided on a niche, then definitely go pick a niche because that's very important. But if you already have decided what niche you want to start, then start learning more about sales from the very beginning, because the content that you post, the stories that you share should have an intention behind it. They should be backed by sales psychology. So maybe enroll in a sales program, or maybe enroll in a program that teaches you the basics of how to create sales backed content. A lot of times we think just posting whatever comes to our mind is going to help us get the clients, but at least initially, till the time you find your voice, you need to follow certain patterns, certain types of content. And in any case, there's so many different types of bios, so you need to understand the basics of sales to be able to sell to those different kind of buyers, to be able to create content for those different type of buyers. So that's the top tip that I would give to somebody who's starting out, that please invest in either a mentor who's going to teach you sales, or somebody or a program that that will teach you how to sell basically. Because you can keep posting content, but if that content's not really backed by intention, it's your hard work's going waste, right? So instead of wasting time, start infusing that from the very beginning.
Mhm. Okay, so I think this is the most important thing that we all need to remember when we are starting our online businesses. And now it's time for Sass It Up. So, Ishita, please tell us one of the sassiest thing, one of the boldest thing you have done, whether it's in your professional life or in your personal life.
I think the boldest thing that I've done in like my professional life was to quit my law firm job without having any plan B. I don't think I've done anything that is bolder than that, because that was a very, very scary thing for me. And even for months later, it sort of would I was very happy with my decision, but it would still come back that, oh, did I make the right decision or not? But
Mhm.
now I'm very happy and I'm very content, and I'm glad I chose this path. There's no looking back and there's no going back for sure.
Wow, that is great. In the end, we would like to know more about your work and how can people get in touch with you?
I have an Instagram account, and that's by the name of at the rate Ishita Khattar Coach. You can connect with me there. My Facebook is Ishita Khattar. You can connect with me there. I also have a podcast which is under some sort of rebrand, redoing at the moment. It's called Dream Life Collective Podcast. I have programs for beginner coaches as well as coaches who have been in the industry, to sort of help them make more sales in their business, to help them create content with intentionality, to help them build really strong foundations for their business. So I have different sort of programs for different levels, so you can get in touch with me and speak to me about where you're at, and I will help you with the right program and guide you to what is it that you need.
Mhm. Okay, okay, wonderful. Thank you, Ishita, for sharing that. And I'd urge my listeners to check out Ishita's podcast, which is coming back very soon. And do check out her Instagram, check out her courses. And Ishita, thank you so much for your giving your time to Little Fixes, being on Little Fixes, and sharing your knowledge and insights with us.
Thank you so much, Maitri. It was lovely having a conversation with you. And I hope your listeners also had an amazing time. I sure did.
अगर आपको ये एपिसोड वैल्यूबल लगा तो प्लीज हेल्प लिटिल फिक्सेस रीच मोर पीपल बाय शेयरिंग इट विद समवन यू केयर अबाउट. यू कैन ऑल्सो गिव अस अ शाउट आउट ऑन इंस्टाग्राम. मेरा हैंडल है @littlepixespodcast. दिस हेल्प्स मी इन ग्रोइंग द पॉडकास्ट और बहुत सारे और लोगों की हेल्प भी होती है इसको सुन के. आई एम ग्रेटफुल फॉर योर टाइम. अब मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वेडनेसडे को. तब तक के लिए खुद से प्यार करते रहो और सदा सैसी रहो. बाय. When I started this podcast in 2019, I didn't know much about the tools available and struggled with poor audio quality, blurry videos, and even losing the recording. Now I have switched to Zencaster. Zencaster not only gives me high quality audio and video podcast production, but also keeps the recording safe with its multi-layer backups even when the internet is unstable. It has a post-production feature which automatically removes sounds like and also reduces background noise with a click of a button. Go to zencaster.com/pricing and use my code LFP and you will get 30% off your first month of any Zencaster paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. Zencaster is free to try and their hobbies plan is always free.